Hi everyone, today we are discussing inequalities where we have more than one number as an answer. If you remember, when we graph inequalities on a number line, we use solid circles for greater than or equal and less than or equal, and open circles for greater than and less than. So if I wanted to solve and graph k plus 3 is greater than -2, I would use my steps just like when I solve equations. So I would first subtract 3 from both sides, and that would give me k is greater than -5. So in order to graph this, I would find -5 on the number line. Since it is greater than, we would have an open circle, and we would draw our arrow to the right, all the numbers greater than -5. Okay, here's a hint. The arrow will point in the direction of the graph so long as your variable is on the left. Okay, so let's do another one. R minus 9 is greater than or equal to 12. If I add 9 to both sides, I have R is greater than or equal to 21. Now this time, since I have the line here in my symbol, that is greater than or equal to. So this time I need to use a closed circle, and you can see I have a solid red circle here, and it is greater than 21. So once again, I put my arrow to the right. When we multiply or divide by a negative number, it reverses the inequality symbol. Okay, so if I had something like -2x is greater than 4, okay, and I come up here and I say I want to divide by -2, then that means that this symbol will change directions. So as soon as I divide by any negative number, in this case I divided by -2, we end up with x less than -2. That symbol changed from greater than to less than. Okay, the same thing here. If I had -1/2 x is less than or equal to 5, and I multiplied both sides by -2 here, okay, -2 times a -1/2 is 1x, 5 times -2 is -10, and this symbol changed from less than or equal to greater than or equal. Okay, so the rule is right here in this column. If you divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, that symbol will change direction. Okay, so here's an example. We have -3y is greater than or equal to 15. So when I divide by the -3, this greater than sign will now change to less than or equal to. So y less than or equal to -5. And then to graph, I find -5. Since it has an equal line, we color it in for a solid closed-in 5, and then we point it to the left. Okay. For B, 7m less than 21, this time we divide by a positive number, so the arrow does not change direction. It's going to stay less than, so m less than 3. This time there's no equality or equal sign, so we have an open circle. Once again, it is pointing to the left. Okay, so some more examples here. These are just one steps. So if I subtract 2, there's no problem there. The sign will stay the same. Find your -2, solid circle, points to the left. For number 2, if I add 5, that will not change the sign. So C is greater than or equal to 3. I find 3, solid circle, points to the right. For number 3, now this time I am multiplying each side by -3 here. Okay, so when I come in here, we are multiplying each side by -3. So that gives us t, but the sign has to change. So it changes from less than to greater than, and then 1 times -3 is -3. So we find -3, open circle, pointing to the right. Okay, for number 4, we divide by a +7. That doesn't change the sign. So n is greater than 4, open circle on 4, and points to the right. So the same thing applies when you have multi-steps. You simply solve your equations, and if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you change your sign.